Have you ever grown broccoli? Hello everybody, this is Deb from Just Do Something Homestead, and today we are working on the garden. The last several weeks we've been pulling off some 18-hour days trying to get everything ready to plant, and today I am going to be working on the broccoli patch. The most challenging thing about raising broccoli is pest control. And that simply means that everything wants to eat your broccoli, from rabbits to the cabbage caterpillars. But we raise all of our crops in the garden free of pesticides, sprays, or anything that is not natural. So how can you raise brassicas such as broccoli without the cabbage moths getting on them? We raise ours in netting. Last year we made a quick frame out of PVC pipes and garden stakes and then covered it with netting. And honestly, it did keep all the caterpillars off of my broccoli. The problem is it's about 4 feet tall and it is so wobbly, and often it would move all over the place. So today I'm cutting off 2 feet from these pipes and we're going to make it a little easier to use. My netting is 10 feet by 30 feet, and so 10 feet is not wide enough if you're going to have them 4 feet tall. So that's going to give me another foot across the bottom to spread it out further, and I think that's exactly what we need to do with this poor broccoli. You need the extra fabric on the sides so that you can put weights on them. Now we just use some firewood. A lot of people use staples for landscaping and they nail it down in there, but honestly, the wood works fine. We went from a very cold and rainy spring, and today we are jumping right into summer. This entire week is supposed to be about 85 degrees every day and sunny. So my goal is to start getting these plants in the garden. If you're looking to build a frame like this one, it is super easy. I use these garden stakes. Last year I used them at the full length, and I think that was part of the problem, that it was so wobbly. So this year I've just started breaking them in half and then hammering them down into my fabric. So this is half of a stake. And then I'm taking the PVC pipe and I'm curling it around and putting it onto that stake. I think it's going to take 2 hands. Yep. So it's going to lower onto that and make the frame. I use 1/2-inch PVC pipe, and honestly, I have had this for decades. I was teaching color guard and we used them for swing flag poles. So I have oodles of this, and I am a firm believer in recycling. So 1/2-inch PVC pipe. Once I have both ends securely down, what I'm going to do is just come over and push on it and get it deeper into the ground. And I'm already seeing that this is far sturdier. I think the length was part of the reason. You can already see they have a lean-to problem. That's because I didn't cut 1 foot off of each side, which would have kept that perfect shape. Instead, I cut 2 feet off of one side. It doesn't matter to me. You're just bending it in half, and I think over the season it'll adjust its shape. All right, 2 done, and now I'm going to get 5 more cut down. I have 4 on that end, and I think I'm going to add an extra one down here so I can plant more broccoli. Alright, so the frames have all been shortened by 2 feet, and now I'm going to plant my broccoli into the holes. Now we use woven weave fabric, and as you know, these holes were burned last year, so I'm just recycling all the holes. I have them in rows of 3, and I think that fits nicely under the frame. We leave this fabric on all winter long, so in the spring, all we have to do is basically just sweep it off. And that's what I did over here. As far as my frames, I put each one 4 foot apart. and then I plant my rows 2 feet apart. I raised my own broccoli seedlings, and I offered them for sale in my farm stand, and I will in the next week at the farmer's market, but people just aren't buying broccoli seedlings, so I'm gonna plant all that I have. As I am planting broccoli, Jim is up in the potato patch planting potatoes, but I can't be in the full sun. So the broccoli patch is purposely in the shade, and you may have seen all those maple propellers because there's a maple tree next to here, and all those little propellers fall down, but we just sweep them up, and the shade is both nice to work on here in the hot summer, but it helps the broccoli and the lettuce and all those brassicas to last longer. So if you're worried because you have a few big trees near your garden, just know it's going to be fine. As you can see, this tree is probably about 8-10 feet away from my garden itself. And in the morning, it gets full sunshine all the way through late afternoon. And at that point, it does receive the shade from this tree. I don't waste a lot of time planting broccoli. I just dig a hole, put in some rabbit poop, and then put in my seedling. The whole process took about 30 seconds. The only thing I have left to do is water them all. Now, I am a huge fan of Patera. And when I watched Patera a couple days ago, she was talking about don't quit your job. And I think that's a huge mistake that many people make. I am still teaching school. And not only do I teach school full-time, but I work at the farm store part-time. There are many reasons that both Jim and I are still working. I think one of the main ones is job security. You know, you don't know when you're going to lose your entire crop. Another reason is insurance. My job provides health insurance, and homesteading and YouTubing does not. So if you are considering homesteading full-time, I highly recommend that you don't leave your day job. Try it for both. You know, we are pushing 60 years old. Actually, Jim's over 60, and we work long, hard days. Don't give up that job until you're sure you can financially do this. Let me tell you, it's not easy. We work long hours. Jim works 10 for his job. I work 8, and then I'm often working my other jobs. So we put in long days, and we go on Facebook and see friends our age. You know, they're too busy enjoying life, vacationing, and you know, we're just preparing. But honestly, I wouldn't want to live any other lifestyle. For those of you that say woven weave will kill off the earthworms, that is simply not true. We have more earthworms now that we use this cloth than we ever have. I am whooped. All right, I planted 30 broccoli, 3 in a row, 10 rows long. So now I'm going to cover it up. I watered them really well, and I'm going to cover it up and clip the cloth on so that none of the predators, the caterpillars, the insects, eat my broccoli crop. It can be a little tricky putting the cloth on all by yourself, but I've learned to lay it out and extend it along one side, and then I'm just going to lift it up and go over. These are the little clips that I buy at Dollar Tree. They come in pretty large packets, but they fit very well on these PVC pipes, and they hold it well. Just like that. I like to put 3 of those around the top of the hoop. Then I'm going to put 1 on each side of the base, and then put logs all along the bottom. And that's what 30 broccoli plants look like when they are all put in a frame. All right, I've been waiting all day for my tomato patch to be in the shade so I can plant the first 8 tomatoes by my cattle panel. I like to plant in the evening because the sun is not so harsh on them. It gives them all night to adapt to their new environment. It is always an exciting time when you get to plant your tomatoes. And I am starting with 1 cattle panel. I put 8 on each one, and I have 10 cattle panels. So tonight, the first 8 tomatoes will be planted. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye.